What's going on with this one?
Aretha Franklin.
Her son.
A handwritten will was found in the couch, apparently.
In her sofa.
Aretha Franklin's sons continue to fight over the singer's last wishes.
Lord.
That's why you supposed to, y'all make sure y'all get y'all stuff in order. So that you don't have these kids fight like this.
Aretha didn't have one. Prince
they
didn't have one.
They said Aretha Franklin had full checks, uncashed, $1 million checks in her drawer. Uncashed. That means money probably didn't mean nothing to her.
No, it didn't. Because
for you to have $1 million checks in your drawer that you never cashed.
Yeah. And two, I don't know. That's not good because that's how you view money.
Well, she do cash. Remember, they said she would show up with her purse. And you always see Aretha Franklin with her purse at her piano. And she wanted cash.
Well, she's from
She didn't
old
want
school.
checks. She was old school.
Where they wanted to get paid.
So it would make sense for her to have checks that never were cashed in her drawer.
Did she have an account? My goodness.
While Aretha Franklin ascended nearly 5 years ago, 3 of her sons are still involved in a legal dispute over her handwritten will. And I remember the thing that I didn't like about her funeral, number one, it was too long. Remember that?
It was.
She had a funeral longer than anybody in history.
Yeah.
And then number 2, they had those red shoes on her.
Put those red
that
shoes
did not
on
fit.
Her. They didn't fit. It reminded me of that movie.
The Wizard of Oz.
No. No, I was thinking of the Wizard, but that's good.
But those shoes fit, but it reminded me of those Wizard of Oz shoes.
It's another movie that Whoopi Goldberg and LL Cool J and them was in, and there was her husband being buried, and he had ballerina slippers on.
Oh, yeah. They couldn't break his feet or something to put real shoes on.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
But, yeah, they had those red shoes, and her foot couldn't fit in them. Mm-hmm. I remember that about her funeral, and that it was long.
And it stuck out. Those 2 things stuck out.
According to the Queen of Soul had to go out like that, but they said she wasn't really nice. She wasn't like to some people. Oh. So maybe that was like a way of getting back at her. Like whoever put the shoes on her, like
that's for you wearing that fur coat at the White House.
Yeah,
and they told you not to. Now you got the red shoes,
so they put that don't fit. Well, once she started, they fit now. But when she was in, they didn't fit. Okay. According to AP News, a trial over the matter is set to kick off later this month. And it's centered on which Aretha's 2 handwritten wills should be abided by. Why would you write 2 wills too? That's the other thing.
Thank you. Does one trump the other?
Which one is, unless they're dated. If it's dated, then you can say the later one trumps, I don't know.
Okay.
Reportedly, both documents were uncovered in her Detroit home months after she passed away. The 2010 document was inside a cabinet, while the 2014 will was discovered inside a notebook stored beneath the couch. Lord. And the cushions.
Okay.
The 2010 will list her niece, Sabrina Owens, and Aretha's third-born son, Ted White Jr., as the co-executors of her estate. Notably, this document also states that 2 of Aretha's other sons, Edward Franklin and Key Calf Cunningham, must take business classes and get a certificate or a degree to receive any other benefits.
Oh, wow. That was stated? Okay.
However, the newer document from 2014 makes no mention of these educational requirements.
Oh.
Additionally, Ted is replaced by Key Calf as the co-executor.
So she updated
Totally.
it.
We don't know. Were they dated? As a result, Ted is fighting for the 2010 document to be recognized. Meanwhile, Key Calf and Edward favor the 2014 one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In support of the newer document, Key Calf's lawyers proclaim 2 inconsistent wills cannot both be admitted to probate. In such cases, the most recent will revoke the previous will.
We're assuming that, yes.
However, Ted's attorney says the 2014 document was a draft and points out that the 2010 was notarized.
That's more important. Wow. This is something.
He also questioned the legitimacy of the 2014 will, considering where it was stored. If they found it in a notebook in the couch under cushions, that's not to me. That's her.
She's
maybe
just
figuring out.
Maybe I make some changes.
But if the 2010 was found in a cabinet with her other stuff and it's notarized, she went and got that notarized.
So regardless of what happened after the notarized copy, if they're just drafting up something, and who's to say, when you watch this on TV on some of these shows, sometimes things is notarized and then the family members or whatever try to talk the person into changing it.
Right.
And it could be drafts of that change, but it's not notarized.
Well, listen to this, because we need to know this.
Wow.
While neither document was a formal typed will, an instructor at the Michigan State University College of Law tells AP News that state law nonetheless recognizes them as legitimate.
Both of them?
Well, the one if it could be handwritten and notarized.
Thank you. I'm thinking the notarization is what stamps it.
So
whether it's hand printed
if you're
or not.
waiting to try to get a formal will typed out, just write something. I remember Judge Mullion used to say, just write on a napkin.
A receipt.
Something.
It can be on toilet paper.
Write something.
Showing that there was
Your
an exchange
handwriting.
of cash.
Yes.
And you can bring that as
a receipt.
Because otherwise word of mouth.
With your handwriting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they'll get a handwriting analysis to say, okay,
this is her handwriting.
and date it if you can.
Yeah.
But I would say for a will, so this might be something we might need to look at right now, because we keep saying, oh, we're going to do a formal. We need to probably at this point just write something down and just sign it.
Well, I was going to start drafting it. So at least if I put it in start in draft mode, like she did her second one found in the sofa, there's something at least that's written down.
Right.
But yeah, that's definitely.
It says if you're sitting there on a Sunday afternoon and you start handwriting your own wishes, the law allows it as long as the rules are followed. It is in your handwriting. It's dated and signed. So it can't just be in your handwriting. It has to be a date on there and it has to be signed.
So I need to maybe do that at the top.
Yeah.
Because as you're drafting, you may be adding things and taking away things.
That's true.
So date it at the top, sign it at the top.
And if you change something, date where you changed it or where you're continuing on.
Even if it's not notarized.
Notarized.
Wow.
And make sure you sign it.
Yeah. Wow. So I don't understand why this is a no-brainer. Why the notarized one is just, that's it. It was notarized.
It says, humorously, the law instructor proclaimed, does it surprise me that someone passed away before they had their ducks in a row? The answer is never. However, he added that the preventable matter can still be settled at any time. So I still say a lot of people pass away without writing out their wishes.
Prince didn't have a will.
When our cousin passed away, our older cousin, before she passed away, we was at her house and you saw a beautiful chest. And you said, oh, I would love that. And she said it was a trunk, old school. And she said, when I leave, you can have it. We never did get that.
Put it in writing.
We didn't get it in writing.
We didn't even follow up to say,
we
hey,
didn't even follow up to her family. When they came and got the stuff, we could have been like,
they would have saw in the will, trunk goes to Lenora and Kim Woods. And we messed that up.
So there you go.
Okay.
It says this can be settled anytime on the steps halfway through the trial, and hopefully it will be. Going to a jury trial is a war. In my opinion, it's not both of them saying that they getting stuff. It just says that two different people are executors of the will, and the other one, she basically saying y'all got to get a degree or get a certificate.
And they probably
so just go get it.
They're trying to find a loophole around that. So they figured the newer version don't state that anymore. So we don't have to go get a school.
But I would just go get it, wouldn't you?
Thank you. Just don't be stupid anyway. Go
it was 2014.
Get some schooling.
We are now in 2023.
Come on.
You could have been had a business license. In 2023.
You can go to a junior college and get something. Just so you can stay clear of
And that's probably why she put that in there, because they stupid.
They lazy. Aretha knew her kids.
Lazy.
So,
and she like, you're not going to just mess up the money I give you. I want you to have a business degree. I want you to understand how the money works, and I want you to be able to do this.
Thank you.
In my opinion, they found it in 2014. They could have, it's 2023. I would have just gotten it anyway, just in case I lose the case. I don't. Now what? Now you lose the case. Now you still got to go get the degree.
And the sad thing about it is that the first one that was mentioned, like you're saying, the time span before they found that second one, they could have got it. They didn't do anything from the first.
You're absolutely right.
So y'all not even trying to make your life better.
In 2010, you found the will, and it said you got to go to school.
When you start looking into schools then.
So when 2014 came, you should have already had a degree.
But no, you miraculously found that second version, and then it doesn't state it anymore.
See?
Y'all lazy. Come on, brothers.
Yeah.
Get it together.
So I don't know. We'll
see where that goes.
But again, a part of that is her fault.
Yeah.
Because she didn't have it. She didn't have everything in order. Now, she probably thought she did because the one was notarized.
Exactly.
So she probably thinking it's notarized. Just go with whatever I put that's notarized.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay. All
right. Did I read anybody's thing? I did. I read Daphne's thing. Okay. So here, every day we try to do a funny TikTok. Okay. So today, did you see this one?
I didn't see the whole thing.
Oh, today we did.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I did. Is this